Okay, here we are, waving at the camera. This morning we thought I thought it was a younger version, good-looking version of Marilyn Manson, but it wasn't. It was Cosentino,
yes.
the Grand Illusionist
Yes.
from Australia. How are you, my friend?
I'm well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Very nice to talk to you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in. Hey, listen, you've been, obviously you're well known after winning Australia's Got Talent, which you came runner-up, which obviously no amount of magic could have helped that decision.
No.
But you also took out Dancing with the Stars.
I did win that, yes.
You did win that?
I did win that, that's correct.
Good. Is there any chance in the future we might see Cosentino on The Bachelor?
Oh, wow. Who do we need to talk to about that? That could be cool.
Yeah.
I'd like to do that. Who
Yeah.
wouldn't? Have all these beautiful women throw themselves at you. You have to choose one. Oh, what a difficult job.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, well, that's right.
They get very upset about it, don't they?
Oh, I don't know about you, but the New Zealand version of The Bachelor wasn't a big series rating, but we also have the X Factor as well, and New Zealand's Got Talent. But tell us what it's like on Dancing with the Stars. Obviously, you're known for your illusion and magic tricks. How was that for you?
It was tough. I remember them saying something like it would be 10 hours a week of training.
Yeah.
It was like 10 hours a day of training. But it was difficult for me or challenging because I had my TV shows coming out. I had a national tour and a magic kit. So I was trying to divide my time, by 3 and still do this dancing. And it's very tough dancing with a partner. My partner literally broke her back.
No.
So 2 weeks into it.
No.
So
way.
then I got a new partner for another 3 weeks. Then she came back and, it's just chaos.
You must be quite the taskmaster then. Hey?
Yeah, I guess so. That's true. It was just, believe it or not, when you work with a partner, it's quite strange because you get used to their body.
Yeah.
And then somebody else steps in and
Right.
just kind of shapes change, and it's just weird.
It must be like having, if you had an assistant or something like that, would it be quite the same?
Right, that is correct. And you have to adjust. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Synchronicity.
Correct.
And teamwork as well. Now, also, when we think about Illusionist, we won't use the word magician, it's a bit antiquated.
Yeah.
But we're thinking about like old school dudes like David Copperfield
Yes.
and Chris Angel, not so old school, and also Dynamo as well.
Yes.
When you chose this, forged out this career path, did you have a specific plan to achieve celebrity status when you first started off, like on Australia's Got Talent? Tell us about that.
That's a really good question. Okay, so growing up, to learn magic, first of all, there was no YouTube, there was no Google. You had to teach yourself, you had to learn through books. That in itself is very challenging, very difficult. So I was inspired by Harry Houdini when I was growing up, reading him in books, and David Copperfield by watching his TV specials. My goal was to make magic a viable commodity in Australia, and I never had anyone I could look up to as a hero. So, for example, if you're an actor in Australia, you could say, I want to be like Hugh Jackman, I want to be like Russell Crowe.
Sure.
If you're a singer, you could say, I want to be like AC/DC. If you're a magician, a string magician, there was nobody. Nobody at all.
Sure.
So I couldn't say to my parents, my mother's a principal, my dad's a structural engineer, I couldn't say, hey, I want to be like, So that made it hard for my family to kind of understand. I'm like, can you even make a living out of doing this? I know there's David Copperfield, but he's in America. It just seemed too far away. So my goal was to kind of show Australians that magic was, viable, that it was cool again, that it was relevant, that I could be kind of that other young kids who probably didn't even realise that be able to set a standard or create a path for them to follow. And that was my initial goal. That was my initial saying when I went on Australia's Got Talent. They said, "Why are you here?" And I said, "Because there's no superstar Australian magicians." And I remember someone in the audience yelling out, saying, "Chris Angel." And I paused. Correctly, you're laughing already. And I paused and I said, "Sorry, can you say that again?" And they yelled out, "Chris Angel," who's a friend of mine, by the way. So,
okay.
I said, "That's my point. He's American,
Yep.
great, but he's not Australian. We need our own. Of course, we need our own." And that all got cut out of the show. But it was all there. It all happened on that day, and that was kind of my point, that I wanted to make it relevant again.
Yeah, because Australia and New Zealand we're quite competitive. Like, I mean, Australia's got you obviously as an illusionist. We don't have anybody here in New Zealand, well, not that I can think of it, that has that celebrity status. You've won the Merlin Award, which is like the equivalent of the Oscars for magic, and then also You took out Magician of the Year as well, I think, 2013,
Yes,
a couple of
yes.
years ago. Is there like a fraternity, like the Lord of the Rings, like you guys all get together, like
Yeah, like-
there's David Copperfield over
Yeah.
here, or
Yeah, it's true. It's like in
Yeah.
Harry Potter. We all sit at this big table with these long beards that we're no, but there's a community that gets together and they vote. It's in New York and they vote on magicians throughout the year who are doing good things for the craft, for the art form. So yeah, the previous recipients include David Copperfield and Penn and Teller and Chris Angel. So and they make the decisions. And lo and behold, lucky for me, I was voted and you know, got to take out that title, which is cool.
good. And you're getting around as well, representing the men's health as well, so you're in finalists for that in Australia. So you're doing something different, dancing as well, which is kind of different. Are you enjoying all these sort of non-magic, non-illusion sort of type gigs that you're doing?
Yeah, that's cool that you mentioned that. I never thought, like, what I wanted to do was magic, but I never thought that I would do Dancing with the Stars. I never thought I would win Dancing with the Stars, let alone being Men's Health magazine, or in a Men's Health magazine competition. Yeah, that's cool to be able to try different things and just experience different things. You know, even just being able to host certain aspects. Magic, of course, is my first love, my first passion, but it's cool to try different things.
Excellent, very good. Well, Twisted Reality is your show that's coming here
Yes.
in Auckland in August and in Wellington in September as well. We look forward to catching up with you at the shows. Are you looking forward to coming to New Zealand to perform for the first time?
I'm very excited. You mentioned about kind of like the rivalry between Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah.
It's funny because I see it as like a neighbourly. You know, like sometimes the Australians claim New Zealand and New Zealand claims Australia. So it's interesting, and so I'm really looking forward to coming here. I think we have a lot of similarities, and just even walking around Auckland, I think it feels homely to me. I don't know if if I'm allowed to say that,
Yeah.
but it feels kind of homely. So I'm excited to come here. I think the shows will be a lot of fun, and the people should be engaged. And we're bringing a big show. It's 40-foot shipping container worth of equipment and gear. So
Dang.
it's going to be awesome.
Are there rabbits as well?
There are no rabbits.
There's
There are
no
no
rabbits.
rabbits, unfortunately. So we don't do that anymore. So that's changed. But there
Okay.
is, but there's some classics like sawing a person in half. But
Yeah.
obviously it's updated, it's modern. There's no boxes or cloths or covers or anything like that.
Yeah.
So there's some pretty cool things in the show.
Now, just one last question because it was before we wind it up. Is there one trick that you've been wanting to do that's eluded you for ages, like making the Sydney Harbour Bridge disappear or something like that?
That would be cool.
That would be cool.
That would be cool. Can I use that?
You can, you
Okay,
should. Yeah.
Great. So
Quite on point.
thank you. So let's make a note of that. But as a kid, I saw David Copperfield
Yeah.
when I was 13 years old, and I was second row, and he flew on stage.
Wow.
He didn't levitate. He actually flew around the stage, and I was gobsmacked. I couldn't believe it. That is an illusion that I would love to be able to do, and who knows? Maybe I can get the rights of David Copperfield one day.
Awesome,
Yeah.
definitely. And we'll remember that too for many time to come as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Cosentino, the great illusionist, thanks for talking to us today. All the best for your upcoming shows.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me. It's been good.
Cheers.